Good morning, listeners. It is Thursday again. Another week has slipped past us, and it is time for you and I to have our weekly chat. We've had a request from a listener to talk about relationship challenges, how we navigate them, how we negotiate them, and how we resolve them, obviously. So, one of the most basic and common challenges in all relationships, and listeners, in the relationship by definition means we have something in common. We have met at a pottery class, so we have that in common. We have a common goal. Let's say I have a relationship with my neighbors out the side, and we make sure our pavements are clean and tidy. It's maybe a work colleague, so there's a common goal. There's that relationship of the work environment. Then you have, of course, the family relationship, and you may have a very good relationship with, let's say, your aunt, but you may have a not so good relationship with a cousin. And then, of course, there is the romantic relationship. Well, I can say with confidence that most problems in relationships start with poor communication or sprout from poor communication. We spend years learning how to talk. We spend a couple of years learning how to walk. We can spend years acquiring another skill, and yet we are not taught how to communicate. It's a skill. And so there are misunderstandings and miscommunication, and it leads to a lot of unhappiness, and it leads to family breakups and clan wars and all sorts of things. So communication, by its very nature, means there is a transmitter and there's a receiver. There's a speaker and there's a listener. Now, if I'm the speaker, I have to make sure that I understand what is being expected of me. What is the message I am trying to put across? What is the purpose of this communication? I am expected by the listener to communicate in such a way that he or she can understand what I require or wish to share with them. It may be information, it may be a request, it may be pure entertainment. So, when you are going to communicate to someone, first ask yourself, what do I want to say to this person? What is the object of the communication? What is my desired result? And then, check yourself that you communicate it in such a way that that person can understand it. And now, it depends on your knowledge and relationship with that person. So, you know that person likes to give lots of information, lots of detail, lots of all bits of other information, and that is how they like to be communicated with. Other people like it short and sweet, stick to the point, and let me get the salient points out of that, and I will act if necessary, but I will understand what you're saying. So, being clear in myself of what I want to say and how I need to say it so that my audience can understand it is crucial. That is the first aspect. And then, of course, the other one is the listener, the receiver. When I am spoken to, do I make sure that I understand what's being said to me? Do I ask questions? Do I say, is that what you want? Am I understanding you correctly? How many did you say? That kind of questioning or paraphrasing. Repeating what the speaker has said, maybe in the way of a question, or maybe changing the word all around, or just saying, I don't understand, I don't get it. Could you explain a bit more? That way, we eliminate misunderstandings. That way, we learn how to communicate with each other. And that is quite important, obviously. We need to make sure that when we communicate, all these boxes are ticked, so that the other person can understand what we're saying, that we understand what we're trying to say, and that the message can be transferred smoothly. How do we deal with misunderstandings and perhaps repeated unhappiness in a relationship. I like the often, and this again you can use with your partner, with your teenager, with a friend or colleague. I use the acronym often, OFN. So it's O is for observe or see. What do I observe? What do I see? What do I notice? So you can say, for example, I have noticed that when you come home from work you are grumpy. Or I've noticed when we are out socializing with friends you tend to ignore me. I've seen that you are very happy when we are not with my sister. And that way you're explaining what you have observed, an observation hopefully is over a period of time, not an isolated incident, because we all have bad days. And then the F is for feeling. That makes me feel that you don't care, that you don't value my input, that you don't like being with my family, whatever it is. Explain how it makes you feel. And then the N is for need. I need you to be a bit more patient with my mom, or I need you to just be a little bit more attentive to me when we are out. So you paint a picture, and when you paint a picture, it serves two purposes. One, you are clear in yourself and you understand what you are feeling, or what you think you are feeling and experiencing. And in explaining that to the other person, you're not confrontational, you are not antagonistic, you are not blaming. You never pay attention to me when we're out. You're always grumpy when you get home from work. We explain it to them in such a way that hopefully they will say, I'm sorry, I don't mean it, or I'm not aware of it, etc. But it opens a conversation, which then takes the aggression, the accusation out of it, and hopefully both parties can then sit down and talk it through, communicate and say, well, I actually don't appreciate your sister always excluding you from the conversation, or your mother picking on what I'm wearing, or whatever the situation is. But it gives the other person a chance to explain, and it gives you a chance to explain, but in a way that paints a picture, not in a way that is confrontational. So the OFN really for me is a go-to. It's a staple. It is when there is unhappiness in a situation, then you can say, I have noticed, this is what you do, this is how it makes me feel, and this is what I need from you. So really it is a wonderful way of starting a conversation as opposed to a fight. Then the non-verbal misalignment. Let's look at it. It's non-verbal, so it's body language, it's sulking, it's passive aggressiveness. And the misalignment means we're not lining up here. I'm saying one thing and you are demonstrating something else by, as I said, your body language or sulking, or being passive aggressive. Again, use the often. Again, you can say, I've observed that you fold your arms, or you turn your head away, or you roll your eyes, or you sulk, or you will take everybody's plate to the kitchen except mine, whatever it is. So again, you have the opportunity with the often to start a conversation, to open up and understand why we are misaligning. And then you can say, when you sulk, when you display obvious signs of irritation or boredom, not being interested, then this is how it makes me feel. And you can draw the other person's attention to the fact that this is not helping the situation. It also, of course, is a form of manipulation. A person who sulks will normally sulk till you have apologized or in some way acknowledged fault on your side. A person who's passive-aggressive is making it clear to you that you are excluded, and therefore, again, unless and until you come to heal, you are not going to be included. You are going to be marginalized. And that is a form of manipulation which needs to be addressed. So if you're experiencing that or exhibiting that behavior, it's time to speak about it with your partner, or if you are the culprit, then perhaps you need to have a little conversation with yourself and say, you know what, when my partner or whoever does something, or if it's a teenager you have in the home, is doing something that I don't like, I'm not going to sulk, I'm not going to exclude them. I'm going to say, and find the right opportunity to say, you know, can you and I chat about things that I have noticed, that I've observed. And timing is everything. Don't try and chat to your partner when he is watching the Saturday afternoon rugby match. Don't try and chat to your partner when she is in the middle of doing something which she is focused on. Ask, when would it be okay for us to have a chat? I've got a few things I just need to flash out with you, or that I just want clarity on, or I need you to explain to me. So when would it be convenient? When would you be in a mood, in a space where we can do this? So timing is everything, otherwise it leads to more. You can see I'm watching the rugby and now you want to talk about what happened on Thursday night. Make sure your timing is right. Make sure your approach is non-confrontational. Don't ambush your partner as they walk in from work saying, we need to talk. Those four most feared words, we need to talk, in most relationships. So make sure that you, I almost want to say set the scene so you can both be relaxed and open to the conversation. And don't try and ambush your partner or catch them when they are most vulnerable. Emotional expression, of course, is also important because we all have the negative emotions. Life is great when we're in love and we're happy and things are going great. You have no problem expressing those. But it's the negative, the frustration, the hurt, the irritation, the sadness, the disappointment. Those are the things that most people find problematic. And they tend to come out in ways that harm the relationship instead of building it. So again, if you are irritated, park it and say to yourself, I know I'm irritated, but what do I want to get from this situation? What do I want from this relationship? Do I want it to grow and progress? Do I want mutual understanding and respect to grow? Or is this irritation the last straw? So, and if your partner is expressing irritation or anger in a way that is, let's just use the word unpleasant, slamming doors, swearing, name-calling, then you again need to go back to the often, and when the time is right, say, I have noticed that when you get upset with me, you slam the door, or you just walk away, or you swear at me, or whatever it is. And explain how it makes you feel and what you need from him and how they can best let you know that they are unhappy without exacerbating the situation. Sorry, I was just holding on because someone is hooting in the background. So emotional expression needs to be done in an emotional, intelligent way, in a way that doesn't do more harm to the relationship. You know, if you're angry at your partner, well, you're already angry. Let's not now slam doors, call him an absolute idiot, inconsiderate, chauvinistic so-and-so, and now you've built on that. Instead of bringing the temperature down, you have just made a huge fire under it. So be careful of that. And again, if you're at the receiving end of that, just say to your partner, can we calm down and talk this through? Because that is making the situation worse and making my understanding less. Could you explain to me how you are feeling and why you are feeling that? So that at the end of the disagreement, the non-alignment, the ill-considered emotional expression, there is now a better understanding, and you and your partner can move forward. I want to share with you the 3 most universal prerequisites for a happy relationship, and they're not in order of importance. They're all 3 important. All 3 of them are important. First one is trust. So I'm not talking just about the trust of I know my partner will not cheat on me with another person. It also means dependability. He's got my back. He never humiliates or embarrasses me in company. If she says she will do it, she will do it. In other words, they keep their word. They are trustworthy. That's the one. The second one is appreciation, compassion, consideration. Not just making coffee for myself, but always saying, would you also like a cup of coffee or a sandwich or whatever? Show and tell, I so appreciate you. I so appreciate that you did the dishes last night. Thank you for stopping at the shop on your way home. I really appreciate that. Whether it's a small child, you encourage with appreciation. And you learn, listeners, even our pets, we teach them by emotional reward by saying, good boy, good girl, what a good dog. And they copy that behavior because they just thrive on that appreciation. And we as humans are no different. Irrespective of our age, we all need to hear that I appreciate you and I am appreciated in turn. And then as we've been discussing the communication. And research has shown that relationships fall or stand by good communication. How we handle conflict. And you never name call. You never character assassinate. You never attack the person's dignity. And you never not consider the other people's feelings. Try and put yourself in that person's shoes. Because every disagreement should always result in a better understanding and intact respect for each other. I need to share with you that although we are individuals, we cannot retain 100% of our individuality in a relationship because there is an us. There's not just a me. There's not just a you. There's an us. And the us has to be big enough or substantial enough to maintain and sustain the relationship. So if you want everything your way and there needs to be a bit of introspection here, you have to reconsider. If he or she only wants his or her way, then you need to make your feelings known. And us is worked on. It becomes as you grow together in the relationship. It is not automatically there. And once again, as I say in the beginning, it's the honeymoon phase. You're in love and you just love everything about your partner. There is nothing he or she does that irritates you till it does. And then the true strength and the true emotional maturity is shown for its presence or its absence. So remember the us has to be worked on. You are two individuals who have come together, and now you need to find ways to accommodate each other, the differences, but you also need to have a common goal. And if your common goal is the success of the relationship, then you work on these things, because they will be there. They will be there. There's not a single person who's been in a relationship for any length of time that will say to you, oh, it's all wonderful, it's all great, we never disagree. There are many, many challenges, and listeners also, as I say. If it won't matter in 3 months' time, let it go. Don't make an issue of something that really, next week you won't even remember what it was about, let alone in 3 months' time. Pick your battles so that you're not forever picking up on every little thing and making an issue of it. Every relationship can be saved if both parties want to work on it, if both parties value the aspect. If you can say to yourself, despite the differences, despite the challenges, my life is better with this person in it than not. So I hope that is helpful. I hope that helps you navigate the challenges in a relationship. And as I say, they are many and varied. But it starts and falls on good communication. And good communication, as I say, starts with an awareness of what I'm saying, how I'm saying, and how I'm listening. And the same for your partner. And once you start speaking clearly, asking questions, paraphrasing, your partner will hopefully pick up on that. Or if you can see there's an obvious sign that your partner is not on the same page, explore that. But explore it gently and with love and with respect and with curiosity, not blame and antagonism. I hope that was helpful. I hope that gave you some ideas of how to negotiate the challenges in your relationship. If you would like some more support, please don't hesitate to contact me on 082-330-2439, or you can send me an email on Lee Foulis Life Coach, one word lowercase, @gmail.com. Have a wonderful Thursday and enjoy the weekend ahead, and hopefully you are available next Thursday so we can chat, and thank you to our host, Ryan Woodley, for this amazing opportunity.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.